Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal the International. I'm called Morinzi, our top stories. The trophy of the 2021 Total Energy African Cup of Nations is finally in Cameroon. The cup, which has already toured over 18 African countries, was brought into Cameroon yesterday and presented to the Minister of Sports and Physical Education and the Prime Minister this December 7 in Yaoundé. And few days to Christmas, markets are washed with toys, dresses and shoes and all sorts of goods. Parents are battling to satisfy the families. Those are the major stories. Details right ahead. The trophy of the 2021 Total Energies African Cup of Nations is finally in Cameroon. The cup, which has already toured over 18 African countries, was brought into Cameroon yesterday and presented to the Minister of Sports and Physical Education and the Prime Minister this Wednesday, December 7 in Yaoundé. The jury received in total joy as government reassures the mobilization of the football fiesta. Haisencha has the rest of that story.
We celebrate the trophy presentation.
This is the golden trophy of the 33rd edition of the Total Energies African Cup of Nations, unveiled before the Cameroon Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Narcisse Mwele Kombi. The trophy, presented by the official sponsor of the tournament, Total Energies, led by the Director General, and accompanied by the AFCON mascot, the famous Mola.
For us to present this trophy, as I said before, in French, we have done that in 17 countries in Africa. And as you know, the competition is going to be in Cameroon. So right now, we are going to present this trophy in each town where there will be some competition: Garoua, Limbe, Bafoussam, Douala, and Yaoundé.
Receiving the prestigious cup this Tuesday, December 7, the Kokan president expressed joy of finally seeing it on the Cameroonian soil, host nation of the upcoming African biggest football event. Having communion with the sport boss, the next stop of the trophy caravan was the Prime Minister's office for the same presentation exercise. The head of government, Joseph John Gote, used the opportunity to reassure Africa and the world at large that Cameroon is mobilizing at all angles to make the football jamboree the best ever in terms of organization. The official launch of the trophy tour alongside Mola is scheduled for Thursday, December 9th at the Yaoundé Multipurpose Sports Complex. All these in full cultural rhythms.
And we now talk health. Health experts have announced Healthcare Week in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, to run from Wednesday, December 8 to the 10th, 2021. Talking to the media in a press conference this day, the health personnel say the exercise is aimed at sensitizing the population on the importance of healthcare and the need to adopt precautions. Experts from different countries like Gabon, South Africa, and Guinea will equally be sharing the experiences with young Cameroonians, medias on how to overcome challenges in the sector. Medical practitioners gearing up for the health jamboree. week has opened the floodgates for business concerns to rethink on their plight and the way forward on how to expand their businesses. In the following report, Kejan Henrietta Tembe's 2020 World Bank report on Cameroon shows that Cameroon has instituted reforms in the banking sector that facilitates access to loans through banks, though banks are still reticent to bear the risks. His story.
According to World Bank 2020 Doing Business report, Cameroon has improved access to bank credit by launching a new credit registry.
Since 2020, put in place a strategy to start lending aggressively to that sectors. It has been translated by the setting of 2 departments in charge of the SMEs and local corporates, since they are the niche of opportunities in our economy, and they constitute the backbone of the economy.
Despite encouraging strides made so far, many small and medium-sized enterprises still find it difficult to get loans to expand their businesses.
Credit to GDP ratio in the country is still very low compared to Sub-Saharan Africa or the world. For instance, in Cameroon, we are around 15% to 17% as credit to GDP, which is very low.
The International Banking Week is an avenue for banks to exchange with their clients and business concerns by proposing better way out, especially within the context of the post-COVID-19 recovery era.
We have the duty to make them secure, to lend wisely. This is a very important thing to watch out while extending facilities to customers. So delinquency, we are internally at UBA, we are very stringent. We have a very high standard in terms of NPL ratio, which is less than 3%.
According to bankers, the constraints to access loans do not depend on the bank, but on the clients who need to comply with certain principles. Default payments, late payments, lengthy court cases are some of these constraints that deter many small and medium-sized enterprises to get loans for their expansion.
Female entrepreneurs are grappling with new horizons on how to broaden the revenue basis within the context of the post-COVID-19 pandemic. They are meeting in the confines of the Cameroon Employers Cartel GICAM to brainstorm on the difficulties faced by female entrepreneurs. Kejan Henrietta completes that story.
The coronavirus pandemic has affected more than 20 million jobs and subsistence globally. According to the United Nations development experts, women are more affected than men. This is the raison d'etre of a capacity-building workshop for young girls and female entrepreneurs holding in Douala, Cameroon, in the confines of the Cameroon Businessmen Association, GICAM.
Also support the women entrepreneurs by improving their access to finance, because they can get the training, they can be reinforced, we can reinforce their capacity, but if they don't have access to finance, it will be difficult for them to build back better.
35 female entrepreneurs from the formal and informal sectors are being trained on existing business opportunities that will open them up to financing facilities within the post-COVID-19 recovery context. Conscious of the existing constraints for female entrepreneurs to access financing, the United Nations Development Programme, in partnership with GICAM, will open the doors by providing the appropriate tools to innovative financing, communication, and digital marketing. From 2020 United Nations Development Studies, 14% of Cameroonian women have lost their revenue sources, while 12% have turned to alternative revenue sources since the coronavirus pandemic broke out.
How small and medium-sized enterprises could contribute to import substitution in Cameroon is the focus of the National Days for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises that kicked off yesterday in Cameroon's economic city, Douala. For 3 days, participants will focus on ways through which the promotion of goods are made in Cameroon could preserve the macroeconomic, increase growth exports, promote exports, and limit imports. More on the story with our reporter Gladys Ambodiba.
In the first quarter of 2021, Cameroon's imports revenue stood at 1,824 billion francs CFA as against 1,406 billion CFA francs same period last year. The figures from the National Institute of Statistics were revealed at the start of the National Days of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises this December 6, 2021 in Douala. The 6th edition is focusing on how small and medium-sized enterprises in the priority sector identified in the 2030 National Development Strategy could contribute to import substitution through the availability and improvement of the quality of goods made in Cameroon.
I am quite convinced that SMEs, having identified precisely some specific incentives that they deserve, will really contribute to the development of the import substitution policy in our country.
Despite being a major driver in economic growth, small and medium-sized enterprises' survival and growth are heavily challenged. Amongst them, lack of security guarantee to obtain loans, land and packaging problems.
The raw materials in Cameroon are very expensive. There's no availability of machines. Another thing is that labor is quite expensive.
We don't have money to transform our products. We don't have machine to transform our products.
For 3 days, therefore, participants will share experiences, best practices, and how to better valorize locally made products that will promote exportations.
This National Day of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises is an opportunity for us to expose our local products. That's given us the opportunity to network, meet other people, see other ideas.
Small and medium-sized enterprises contribute around 38% of Cameroon's GDP, make up over 90% of businesses in the country, and employ above 60% of the population.
The new management of Mashibi Bay in Kongsamba in the Mongo Division Littoral region have been challenged to improve on the market infrastructure and also provide other basic amenities. The city mayor of the Kongsamba Council made a call while officially installing the new team into their function today. As we hear the following story with Gladys Ambodiba.
Mashibi Bay in Kongsamba in the Mongo Division is a shadow of itself. It lacks electricity, toilets, access routes into the market, and has poor infrastructure, forcing traders to occupy the roadsides, leaving the markets empty. The traders are perplexed. Mashibi Bay lacks toilets. Traders are suffering. There is no access route into the market because traders have occupied the main entrance. Bikes are unable to access the market with goods. Urine is all over here. I struggle to clean the environment alone daily. Warnings I send out for people to stop urinating here are all in vain. The nauseating smell has sent away all my customers. The new executive bureau of the market, installed this December 7, 2021, has been tasked to keep the market clean, give it a facelift, so that traders can pay taxes without complaints. First, we will try to construct toilets, install potable water, and as for electricity, the president and his team are putting efforts already to electrify the market. Our main challenge right now is lack of funds. However, traders have the obligation to clean their surroundings to keep the market clean. It should be recalled that the traders of Mashibi Bay in Kongsamba had earlier this year rejected the president-elect of the market, complaining he did nothing to improve the markets and the welfare of the traders in his last mandate. The current bureau, which has a 2-year mandate, is expected to effect changes.
Few days to Christmas, the hustle and bustle that generally characterizes the feast is felt already in markets in Cameroon's economic city Douala, even though vendors complain on scarcity of goods as ones available are getting very expensive, making it difficult for consumers to purchase items. More on the story with Saleh Sherifa.
Few days to the celebration of the Feast of Christmas, the ambience in markets in Cameroon's economic capital city Douala is gradually changing to meet the needs of this festive season. While traders have been stocking their shops with necessary items highly demanded during this season, parents and guardians have been visiting markets and other commercial centers to purchase items for their kids. There are certain toys that consumers prefer, toys which help to stimulate the knowledge of their children. At Aqua Commercial Center in Douala, where Canal 2 team of reporters visited this second week of December 2021, traders have stocked shops with different products. Compared to same time last year, some goods are really scarce to get, thus making things difficult for retailers.
Actually, I came to the market to buy some few items like dresses, shoes, Christmas trees and other items to sell. Yes, but what I realized is that the prices of those goods as compared to last year, they are more expensive than what we had the previous years. So, but we really don't know why. And the availability, some of the products are very scarce to see. Like, we stress a lot to get a good quality thing.
According to traders, Cameroon-made items are not available in markets. Due to high price they get from wholesale, they are obliged to resell on high prices to consumers to guarantee their profits.
Local authorities have been challenged to make use of potential development partners, initiate projects and create jobs for the population ranging their municipalities economically autonomous. The call was made as a rounding of the Pioneer Council International Economic Forum that brought together participants and investors from over 100 countries. Haisencha has the rest of that story.
3 days of heated consultations between mayors, city mayors, regional councillors, economists, national and international partners of local development to change the gear of the Cameroon decentralization process. The Council's International Economic Forum has left traces and prospects on the local development drive. Over 1,000 of conventions signed between councils and partners to boast local potentials, 14 legal framework agreements, and a number of future deals to be finalized. Local authorities quite satisfied with the initiative by the United Councils and Cities of Cameroon, which they say is a springboard for the economic viability of their localities.
This wonderful initiative is going to transform most of our councils in Cameroon. And as a matter of fact, I think that as I will be going back to my municipality, life in my municipality will never be the same again.
We were given the opportunity to choose partners that we can actually work with them to see that we bring development in our council areas. And that's why we are here for. Time is going to come when we are going to meet with these partners and then dialogue together, put up our problems, our difficulties, submit our projects, and then see how they can come in to assist us.
Rounding off the forum, this Sunday at the Yaoundé Multipurpose Sports Complex, the UCCC President, Augustin Tamba, challenged his colleagues to make good use of the investment links created during the platform to be able to develop rich potentials of their municipalities, create jobs for the many unemployed youths, and curb rural exodus. Opportunities the mayors are ready to maximize.
We have to know that we don't need to sleep on our laurels. We have to work out, come up with projects. Once we have the projects, we'll be able to get the partnership to execute them. We have to engage in economic activities so that employment for the youth will be there, and there will be appeasement, especially for those of us coming from the Northwest.
Presiding over the closing ceremony, the Minister of Decentralization and Local Development, George Elanga Obam, equally tasked the local authorities to get to work, produce the fruits of this rich encounter while preparing for the next edition.
That report brings us the end of this edition of Newscast in the English language on Canal the International. Thanks so much for watching. We have news in the French language at exactly 19h50. We are I'll be back tomorrow, same time, for another edition of news in the English language. Good night.